Arsenal's starting lineup for the most recent FA Cup match against Man City. The brutal makeover of Mikel Arteta.
In light of Arsenal's journey to Manchester City in the FA Cup, it is important to consider how much has changed since the team's previous matchup in this competition. Even though Mikel Arteta has only been in charge of Arsenal for a little over 3 years, he has seen more drama and controversy than he can possibly remember. The Arsenal manager is presently benefiting from a total reorganization of the team, although it must be acknowledged that he hardly had many players to work with when he took over. Thus, it is all the more impressive that Arteta led the team to FA Cup victory in his debut season. Pressing the subscribe, like, and/or comment buttons and sharing with your closest friends will help support this channel. Many thanks. Arteta's first season in charge of Arsenal was anything but typical, with all of football being suspended for 3 months due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In a tragic twist of fate, Arteta won his first trophy as a manager while Wembley Stadium was deserted. Since Arteta had previously worked as Pep Guardiola's assistant, many saw Arsenal's victory over Manchester City as a classic instance of student meets the master. In the semi-final matchup against City, the Gunners prevailed 2-0. Since that cup shock, a lot has changed. In anticipation of the two teams' first ever FA Cup encounter on Friday night, Soccer News has looked back to see who lined up for Arsenal that day and how they have fared since. Emiliano Martinez, a goalkeeper, has become a major news draw in recent years thanks to his success since leaving Emirates. How far will Arsenal make it in this year's FA Cup? Comment below. Martinez left Arsenal for Aston Villa for almost £20 million after the Gunners stuck with Bernardo despite Martinez's FA Cup heroics. The Villa Park crowd like him, but the biggest news is that Martinez has already won a World Cup with Argentina as a result of their victory in Qatar 2022. The shot stopper was an essential component of his country's successful campaign, yet some of his actions during the days of celebration that followed were questioned. With Shakran Mustafi, who is undoubtedly one of the worst purchases in recent Arsenal history and was never far from another disastrous moment, the back five looked a world away from the elite defense Arsenal presently boasts. However, on this particular night in June 2020, up against City's bevy of star-studded attackers, the Germany international reacted well with everything that came his way, as did his teammate centre-back on the night David Luiz. Both have since left, with Mustafi leaving Arsenal in February 2021 to join Schalke, where things mysteriously became worse, while Luiz went back to his native Brazil to finish out his playing career with Flamengo. One of the few remaining Arsenal players is the third central defender, Kieran Tierney, albeit his playing time has been somewhat reduced as a result of the addition of Oleksandr Zinchenko, who was sitting on the City bench for this match. Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Hector Bellerin were positioned on each side of that much-questioned centre defence trio. Although officially still an Arsenal player, the former has spent time on loan at West Brom, Roma, and Southampton since this match. Bellerin's Arsenal career has subsequently come to an end. The Spain international first spent the 2021-22 season on loan at his childhood club Real Betis before making a permanent move back to Barcelona, where he spent his academy days, on a permanent basis. Granit Xhaka, the only player in this lineup to start every game for the Gunners while healthy, is still a crucial cog in Arteta's machine in the middle of the field. Dani Ceballos, who has only ever been at the club on loan from Real Madrid, cannot be claimed to have experienced this. Before Ceballos' loan was extended for a second season, which turned out to be one of the most dismal in Arsenal's recent history, and he later returned to the Santiago Bernabéu to win a Champions League the following year, he achieved this achievement in his first season. Arsenal's club record signing Nicolas Pepe was positioned on the right side of the front three. Pepe, who cost £72 million, even contributed to the opening goal's assist, but he has utterly failed to live up to expectations at Arsenal. His exorbitant price tag has in no way been justified by a few flashes of brilliance, and Pepe is now back in France playing on loan for Nice. The Ivorian's future at Arsenal seems bleak given Bukayo Saka's performance and Arteta's desperate search for a replacement right-sided attacker. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who was previously adored by the Arsenal crowd but is now derided, was positioned on the left. The Gabonese international scored twice in this 2-0 victory before adding another brace against Chelsea in the championship game. After parting ways with Arteta in late 2021, Aubameyang spent 6 months at Barcelona before joining London rivals Chelsea in the Premier League, tearing apart his relationship with Arsenal in the process. Alexander Lacazette, who was in front of the line for Arteta's men, never quite lived up to the degree of anticipation that awaited his arrival from Lyon in 2017. 2 years after this match, Lacazette made his way back to the League One team following a notably subpar final season in an Arsenal jersey. A forward who was present on the field that evening, ex-City player Gabriel Jesus, has subsequently taken his place. It's a testament to how vicious Arteta can be and how far the Gunners have gone that only Xhaka is anticipated to start for Arsenal vs City on Friday night in this competition. Martinez, Bellerin, Luiz, Mustafi, Tierney, Maitland-Niles, Ceballos, Xhaka, Pepe, Lacazette, and Aubameyang make up Arsenal's starting lineup against Man City in July 2020.